focus on main assets of each organization, which is processes, data, and users. So technology, of course, we are IT security company, but right now, as HPE, we don't deal with network protection. There are plenty technologies which are already on the market, and to be honest, we don't put finger on that. Even more, we had some technologies and we decided to migrate from our offering, and right now we like to really focus on two elements which I like to present out of our portfolio. That's the data and applications. Because finally, we expect that we will be able to provide a possibility to work, let's say, to provide all these advanced modes of interaction with external partners. So, not perimeter, but data protection, application protection, which will help to make all this sophisticated schema of interaction really secure. So, actually, we advocate three core elements in securing IT infrastructure. So, firstly, we would like to see security built in from very beginning. From very beginning, we would like to see a security element to be visible from day one of any process management setup, from day one of any application preparation, from day one when any system is built up, to see security put into fundament of all this development works. Point one. Point second is that detect and respond. In effect, I hope that you know that HPE is famous by the product which we will not discuss today. It's the ArcSight, and it is our proven technology which exactly helps to monitor what's going on inside any IT environment and provides exactly information which is needed to see what's going on inside in terms of security matters. So in this case, it is not about IT operations analysis. It is purely system dedicated to get information about status quo on security, to identify any kind of security breaches. And the third element, which every organization should to have in mind, it is to recover. Why? Because actually, all the story shows that it is not a question if we will be hacked or not. By probability, we should assume that it is just a matter of time when something bad will be happen. So right now, every organization, one by one, also have to think about set up procedures upfront to recover. It means to have a procedures, to have a technology, to have a solutions, systems and so on, ready to recover if something bad happens. Anyway, so okay. So today I like just to focus just on a prevent element. I mean, I like to present two technologies which we are offering to help exactly to prevent, to build up security into infrastructure from very beginning. Okay, so first is HPE secure data. As I mentioned, data is one of the critical assets on every organization. I think nobody will complain this statement. So, sorry, I just need to make it like jungle in three elements. Yeah. Okay. So that's common situation. Yeah. When we, in effect, in most cases, we encrypt data on storage. Yeah. So there are many systems which help us to let's say to deal with protecting data, but all the time we are focused rather to keep it secured on a storage. And we like to force another approach, which we used to say name data-centric security. Simply speaking, we would like to see information secured, encrypted from very beginning, from moment when somebody typing on a keyboard and put, for example, information into web form. It's really big change in a way how data is protected. And okay, actually, we heard all these attacks, all this big massive data volume leakage, and in fact, it's a result that if you like to right now to protect information, we deal with so many challenges, because as you see in each data ecosystem, we have to deal with some specific threats. Malware on a disk encryption, malware on the transition information between systems over SSL protocols. Then we deal with challenges which are related to, with database encryptions, traffic interceptions. All these elements you know from your daily practice, yeah? And we would like to propose a solution end-to-end protection. So that's our philosophy. We would like to convince and to like to deliver and propose to our customer, let's say, way how we could do, let's say, from, as I said, from beginning to the end. And actually, we are known by two specific technologies which we acquired a year ago. HPE acquired company Voltage. It is American company which was established many years ago by scientists which came out from MIT in 2004. They established company Voltage, and right now we are very happy to present two technologies which actually make a core offering from this team. So the first is a format preserving encryption. I show on a slide that data, how it works. Simply speaking, we could replace data which is open, like name, like a PIN number, or like matyczni grażdanski broj, yeah, or broj grażdanski. We could, let's say, replace with another value, with another token. So, simply speaking, the beauty of this technology is that we preserve format. So it is really non-invasive technology. We preserve format. If it is a name, it remains a name. If it is a date, it is a date. So in this case, it makes much simpler to use this technology in our IT environment without need to really radically to change applications which we are using right now. Second technology is secure stateless tokenization. Once again, I know that you are familiar with any principle of encrypting the data. Of course, a very common way is to use any kind of algorithm which crypt data, but the problem is that this operation is, let's say, resource consuming. It is not let's say, not cheap, and I think the good example is that if you like to encrypt every operation which is done in a database, a throughput of this database drop down every time. So in this case, some time ago, a new principle was developed. I mean, a tokenization. Are you familiar with tokenization? Yeah. Okay. So maybe I'll explain. So it means that tokenizations means that instead to make some math encryption, yeah, we just change the value, a specific value which we have in database, by another value which we use to name token. 1 to 1. Of course, mathematically, we provide full reversible operation. So from token we'll be able to take a native data, of course. So in the past, tokenization was found as a very nice, good technology, good principle. But only what does it mean? That in the past we had to keep this token table all the time. Yeah, our invention is that stateless tokenization is the beauty of this technology is that instead of using big tables of those tokens, we developed some special algorithms which dealing with much smaller token mapping table, like 200 megabytes, and then when we use random numbers, we could make all this process of tokenization much simpler, much faster, to be honest, much cheaper. So there are two technologies: this format preserving format and the secure HPE secure stateless tokenization really brings a change. So, in a specific situation, I would like just to show examples. So we could apply different approach for different data which we keep in database. For credit card or this citizen number, we could use SST, just stateless tokenization, and for other data like email address, like the date of birth, we could use format preserving encryption. So in this case, it is up to us what we like to use. And how it works now in most cases. As you see, in a specific IT environment, data from very beginning, when it's put in a web form, is open, transmitted over system, put on a storage. In any moment, as you see, it is possible to intercept this information, and data could be stolen. And we see all those cases which were presented by our colleagues in a previous presentation, when big amount of data could be get out. With our technology, okay. With our technology, we could propose something else. Look, you are able to protect this information once it is put manually into web form. So in this case, from very beginning, from the browser, in this case it's just example, from very beginning, from the browser, data could be encrypted, sent to account application, sent to database, could be shared with other systems all the time, could be protected, and then it could be decrypted only in a specific situation when it is needed, for example, for card processing. So we could provide, information as such is protected, and then only those parties which should have an access to this data could see that. Cool stuff. So in this case, I'd like just to assure you that this stateless case management, this new technology, makes it really much simple, much more secure, much better protected, and even we could provide a high level of availability, because in this case, for example, replication of the small tables of token mapping tables is much simpler, let's say, to share with other parties in our infrastructure, to make some duplication to provide a high availability. And then also another trick is that we are able to use these technologies, let's say, differently for different kind of the data. Then another beauty is that we could use on a desktop, we could use in our network, we could use it on a cloud. All these cases could be used to could be good to implement this technology. Okay, and at the same time, we provide tools to implement this technology relatively easily with APIs, with tools, with web services, and so on, to make it available to the customers to implement with proper tools in a relatively in a not so complicated way. I will skip that narration about this principle. So I like just to confirm that we have several possibilities to crypt data, having all in mind all these possibilities which are provided by different technologies which I presented. So, for example, we use a credit card number, and then, as you see, we have 6 different formats how we could protect it in different way. So, for example, we could make it just partially that some part of the number is visible to the, let's say, to the operator. And when you got a call from operator on a call center, please give me a last 4 digits. In this case, you could be identified by 4 digits. Over digits are protected. Or, for example, we could mask data. All these things are possible. There are systems everything could be set up by administrators. I mean, data protection administrators. All these things are available in the system. So, how it works in a specific situation? As you see, right now, without our technology, all data is available to all parties. To analysts, to HR applications, blah blah blah, to everybody, and to malware as well, and hackers as well. When we crypt this data, as you see, malware and malicious user just see data crypted, but other parties, for example, like payment application or help desk, see this data partially. They just, for them, it's enough just to see some digits, and some digits are protected. And then, and then when we consider, for example, authorized HR applications or authorized fraud analysts, with our tools, it's possible to see real data. All what I'm talking about here, it is all about data anonymization. And I like to tell you that right now it's become very serious challenge, which is right now put by different regulations, really to protect especially personal data. There is some law which comes from EU, and in 2 years all companies in EU region will be obliged to protect data in a way that all information about over than 5,000 records has to be protected by technology. So in this case, all these solutions will be widely implemented to protect data, let's say, according to compliance. But please think about situation here in Serbia. There are plenty use cases which I discuss with our potential customers, where specifically, for example, when you cooperate with systems in other republics. So there are companies, there are banks, for example, which manage a centralized database in Belgrade, but they have branches in Macedonia. So in this case, from one side, we would like to, for example, to set up as a main data center processing, but at the same time we should deal with regulations which doesn't allow to export personal data over borders. Yeah. So in this case, all this data anonymization, it is exactly a solution how to deal with such situations. Also, in specific banks, look, there is information about customers, and to be honest, it's all the time security officers is under, let's say, pressure from business, because business all the time asking, look, I need to get an access to database because we need to additional analytics. We should like to add another system, and all the time it's right the red flag. Oops, I will give you access to that. I'm losing control of the data. So this approach, once again, gives an answer how to deal. Let's say to crypt the data and then to provide access to only to those parties which are needed. So definitely we see that there are more and more parties which are interested in this technology. Second technology, I will not extend my time, but I am very proud to present, is our technology which address security of applications. It is product which is named Fortify. We are selling this technology for 3-4 years already, but actually we see that it's still in a very initial stage of customer acquisition or customer mind to protect applications. The issue is that if you see looking back and you make a forensics and you try to find the reason why these bad things happen, in 84% of successful attacks, 84%, one of the reason on that, it was a vulnerability in a application, really. So of course I don't like to claim that it was only one hole which allowed to make the attack, because as I said before, attacks are more and more complex right now. Oh, sorry, I lose. Okay. But in fact, believe me, that's true. So right now, what we like to convince our customers to think about to add a security assessment about security assessment from very beginning when you prepared any kind of application, and we have a technology to do it. And it's really interesting when we approach the customers and we asking usually, look, your applications is very weak element which provides a possibility, or let's say put a surface for attack. Usually, even in many organizations, there is no knowledge or understanding how many applications right now any institution or commercial organization deal with. Very often, when we start with the discussion, suddenly when we dive into this theme, we see, okay, we have 50 applications, no, 60, no, 100, 150, and there are differently. There are commercially acquired. There are applications which were developed by ourselves, and so on. So right now, applications, let's say managing applications, become a complex, more and more complex task. And all of them, if they are not protected, there are possible source of troubles, really. So right now, in most cases, we see rather reactive way how we deal with all these vulnerabilities in applications. So it's very common that there is a big push to make application available for the business as soon as possible. So of course, everybody are familiar with quality assurance process, because of course at first we need to be sure that it works. And then security, okay, look guys, we need it to make it as fast as possible, because we would like to be ahead our competition. We would like to get a new functionality and so on. And security, okay, let's hope that it will work. And then the bad result on that such of approach is that in fact that fixing fixing all these vulnerabilities afterwards costs in total much more. Instead, to make it from very beginning. So our approach is to propose to add this security element on as a whole life cycle of software development. And we have all these technologies which are dedicated to address specific stages of software development. So from very beginning, when an application is built up, we're proposing a static analysis of source code. Then when we have a code ready, and in the case if we're dealing with web applications, we are able to start another tool which is dynamic testing. It is something which you usually use to name penetration tests of web applications. We have a dedicated technology for that. And another element, once again, which is dedicated for especially .NET and Java applications, we are able to put some additional controller on Java engine, which make reports to us of all I/O operations and specific operations into applications, and then we could get this report and get this data and analyze with our SIEM solution. So we are able to deal with the whole life cycle of software development. Actually, right now we're dealing with 20 programming languages. We're dealing with most commercially available software development environments to analyze a static code. It is not easy task, because could you imagine, especially if we have applications which contain many objects, and usually there is an own source, own code. There are some libraries. There's open source libraries. We are able to, let's say, to deal with all this complexity. We compile every program. We make a meta code, and then we control every type of vulnerabilities which could be defined with our current knowledge about them. So I'm very proud that this technology is recognized as the best right now in the world by Gartner, and I like also say that dynamic testing, which is brand name as Web Inspect, is widely adopted already by many organizations to build up, let's say, automatic scans of their web resources. So when we use our technology, we could combine all these elements. I mean, static analysis, dynamic analysis, under one console to provide a full information about security of applications. And last but not least, it could be used by you by acquiring this technology, but also we are happy to provide this technology as a 45 on demand as a service. So if you have a specific situation, you like to test a specific application, we are able to make the security assessment as a service. It works on that way that you can upload this source code on our server. We make an analysis, and in 48 hours we back to you with information about all these vulnerabilities. Once again, I like just to say one thing. We evangelized this technology for 3-4 years already, and I'm very happy that finally, especially in a fall of 2015, we got a positive feedback finally in Eastern Europe, in countries which I managed, and right now we see interest from banking organizations also in Serbia. And then also I like to say that we see this technology used especially by banks as a obligatory element of the application development. So right now there are new policies which are saying no application put in data center without the security assessment done in a right way, not by consultants which could make a manual review, but through, let's say, using all these methods to really to make a deep analysis to find all these vulnerabilities. So right now we ship, every year comes with something new. Many years antiviruses were new, then firewalls was new, then CM was new. Right now 45 code analysis is new, and it's getting a recognition by more and more customers. So I expect the same here in Serbia will be visible. So just to finish, I like just to share this information that currently, in fact, HPE is the 5th biggest IT security company in the world. It is not recognized so widely, but it's a fact. We have technologies which are, as I show in the slides, are recognized as the best, because each of technology like 45 Web Inspect, the secure data oxide, all the top on the Gartner and our analysts, with 5,000 security specialists, we really bring a value to you, really to protect your assets. So once again, thank you for time. Thank you for your readiness to listen to me, and I will be here, and in case of any questions, because I understand I need to finish, I'm in your disposal to answer. Thank you once again.